Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of In The Crease as we go inside Furman Women's Lacrosse. I am Dan Scott. That is Kirkland Lewis. Got the right graphic pulled up and everything. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a good start to the week, coming off the weekend or last week, and we're playing in May, which is great.
That's always a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
2 road wins to close out the regular season. And I guess the only thing that's up in the air right now is one thing that's out of your control, and that's waiting to see where the final seeding for the Big South tournament shakes out.
Yes.
And you actually have to wait for a computer to decide that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, just our conference is so competitive that there's 3 teams in a tie, and we're even in the first 2 tie breaks. So then we have to go to the third, which normally you don't want to get to, which is RPI, and we have to wait till Tuesday for that to come out.
Yeah, we're recording this on Monday morning, dropping on Monday, so I want to say tomorrow. Tuesday is the day we're looking at. So you couldn't get together and rock, paper, scissors or something and go ahead and get it shaken out?
I guess they don't prefer that for whatever reason. I go rock every time, though. I feel like it's a good way to get what you want.
Or go to the fielding. Like in soccer, they go to penalty kicks.
Yeah, that a shootout would be good. I'd take our odds in that.
But instead, we wait on the computer.
Yes, we wait on the computer.
So the general feeling is that you're going to be either the 2 or 3 seed, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Just based on what the RPI is stacked at right now, we land in the middle. I think Campbell is a couple spots ahead of us. High Point's below us. We're in the middle, and I don't see, based on anybody's wins or losses, that changing too much. The only iffy thing is that Campbell lost to High Point, who's lower than all of us. But again, I just think we'll be seed 2 or 3.
Well, something to keep an eye on, and that information obviously will be released on FurmanPaladins.com once that shakes out tomorrow on Tuesday. But you closed out strong. Road wins at Wofford and at PC. So you finished the regular season 10-7, a 7-2 Big South Conference record, and the 10 wins, the 6th 10-win plus campaign in the short history of this program.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that stat, but yeah, it was a great season. Good, really good regular season. We competed in non-conference. We're prepared for Big South, and we had a lot of away games, so that really makes it tough when you're not playing at home. So to really finish strong at Wofford and Presbyterian was good.
The other sports that I'm more familiar with, obviously, on this campus, Furman Wofford is a big rival. Is it a big rival in lacrosse as well?
It is. I think there was more. It felt more competitive, just more than just playing lacrosse. There was definitely emotional pieces to it for both teams, and it was really exciting. I think that's why we dominated so much, because we knew there was a rivalry, and just wanted to not even make it anything to talk about and just come out on the top side of it.
Just go out and take care of business, right?
Yeah, definitely.
23-13 road win. So obviously you played very well.
Oh yeah, that was probably, I would say, one of our best games all season. Just all ends of the field were clicking, and our offense was just, you couldn't stop any part of it. If you tried to shut down Meg or HD, then Paige and Sophia would come up. Sophie Shaw had an incredible game, Anna Roser as usual. And then defensively, they just did a really good job of containing Wofford's offensive threat. So it was a fantastic game.
And then you close out the regular season 16-11 at PC.
Yeah. So that game, I think we could have executed things a little bit better. There definitely was just, I think, a slow start for us. But again, we really did execute towards the end and put the game away, which is what we needed to do.
Well, better to have a slow start and overcome it than to have one and have it kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Exactly, yeah. And so we never had to dig ourselves out. We always were on top, but it just wasn't how we played in Wofford. So it's just, again, I think I've been saying it all season, we need consistency, and we didn't really prove that in our Presbyterian game.
Obviously the final chapter of this season has yet to be written because you've got the conference tournament coming up and hopefully a couple of wins there, and you're heading to the NCAAs. So I asked this question knowing that there's still more to be done, but when you look at the 17 games you've played through the regular season, the 7-2 conference season, what's the What's the story of this team right now? What stands out to you?
I think we just don't understand our potential. You see it, and we've played some really great opponents in Florida and Virginia Tech, and we were able to walk away from those games feeling really great. And then we have games like ECU where we get blown out and we didn't feel like we played our best. And we've had so many close one-goal games with Stonehill and Kennesaw in overtime and ODU. And I think even High Point was a one-goal game. Campbell was a one-point loss. And so it's just understanding that we can win all of these games. We just have to put things together for a full, complete game. But it's really the other piece that has made us successful, even with those close wins, is that our team just puts their head down and continues to work and gets over all adversity that comes up through games. And we really just have had different highlights throughout the season that I'm hoping we can put all together in postseason.
And isn't that really the most important thing, the ability to not let adversity define you, not let it cripple you, to just put your head down and continue to work through it.
Yes.
Diagnose what went wrong or what's going wrong in the moment and find a way through it.
Yes, exactly. And that's really what I think we have a great leadership group that just really understands we have to keep working. If it's not working, we got to figure out how, why. We have to hold each other accountable for things that we can control and then play through things that we can't.
Leadership, you talk about that. Have the ladies really taken ownership of this program?
Yes, absolutely. I think our captains in HD, Meg Beal and Caitlin Sousa, really have held the team accountable for every outcome that we've had. And, we just really want our seniors want the program to be in a better place than when they got here. And so we just keep pushing towards that and help it motivate us.
Yeah, we talked last week about the emotions of Senior Day with the Gardner-Webb matchup, and you win that game, and now you've got to play two games in the midst of finals week here.
Yes,
and how obviously they were able to negotiate that very well with the two wins, but that's still not easy to do.
It's not easy at all. I mean, some of our players just have brutal finals schedules, so I know that it's really hard to balance, but we talked about just how to have the shifting priorities. When you're out of lacrosse, academics have to be your priority. When you're in lacrosse, you need to have lacrosse on your brain because, we worked really hard to get here and we don't want something like lack of focus or just feeling unorganized or scrambled to take that away.
Ron Smith used to tell his team that when you're, and in your case, when you're in lacrosse, you can't do anything about schoolwork, and when you're in the finals, you can't do anything about lacrosse, so you have to be where you are
exactly
in the moment, and that's a learned skill.
Yes.
That's not something that comes natural for a lot of people.
No, it definitely, especially we have a young team, so just having to balance two things that are really important to them, I think, is just hard. So we just really try to make it as open as possible, of just like, hey, this is when you're in lacrosse. This is what we're looking for from you during these times, and then everything else, it's on you of how you handle and schedule your final schedules. The only thing we ask is that you take care of yourself, going to sleep, eating, and all the things that kind of can get out of whack during finals.
Well, obviously they were able to do that. Regular season is wrapped up. How I don't know if difficult's the right word, but you're planning right now for semifinals, and you don't really know who you're going to play because you're waiting for Tuesday
Yes.
and the RPI to come down. So what have the last couple of days been like?
For me, it's just watching a lot of film and kind of just feeling, I think, comfortable in that it doesn't matter who the draw is, that in each of the games in High Point, we were up by 7 against them. We won by 1, so we felt confident coming out of that game. Campbell, we lost by 1, and when we looked back on the game, it shouldn't even have been close. And then with Mercer, we felt like with a couple tweaks, that would have been we were down by 3, I think, in the 4th, and so we fought back to make that game close. So there's opportunities in all 3 of those opponents who we're going to see no matter what, where we can come away with wins. But I think it looks like it'll be Campbell, who we knew we'd have to see again in the postseason. So It's just kind of patiently waiting and feeling as confident, no matter who it is, that we're just going to go win it.
Yeah, to get that NCAA tournament bid, you're going to have to beat 2 of those 3 teams anyway, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So it's kind of like it all goes through High Point, Campbell, and Mercer, and that's just how it is.
What about the logistical side of things that people don't think about? Because as you came in this morning, you were saying, hey, I was working on our travel and doing all these things. There's that piece of it. You don't just magically show up there. You have to put together, you have to put together the logistics of getting there and doing that. How has that worked this weekend?
It's honestly a hot mess, to put it honestly, because we didn't even know who would be hosting the tournament until Saturday's game was over. It was between Campbell and Mercer. And it's not even like they're close where you can say, oh, we could just be in this hub and be
right.
It's, we had completely planned for one place, and then we're like, shoot, the game was tied at half. And we're like, great, we might have to change everything. And so it's just a lot of scrambling, but also it's kind of the benefit of getting to this point is like you have to scramble and pull it all together and still be able to compete and feel prepared no matter who you're playing, where it is, what time. You can't control any of that. You just got to show up and be ready.
Yeah, I mean, Bowie's Creek and Macon are not places that you just drop into. You have to plan to go to both of those places. So
correct. And it's not a greenbelt either, where there's 65,000 hotels, and it's very interesting planning.
Bottom line, though, is you're in a pretty good position, and working on all that stuff, you don't mind.
I don't mind. It's one of those things where you get frustrated, and you're like, well, thank goodness we're having this problem, or else
Right.
we'd already be done our season, and that wouldn't be good. So it's definitely a benefit to, hard work throughout the season.
Kirkland Lewis with us on this week's episode of In The Crease. Let's go back and take a look at Dens Day. How did that work out for you?
Oh, it was really, really good. We definitely engaged way more, I think, than in my first season. And so just way more communication. And we just put out challenges that were really fun and got a lot of good feedback from that. And we probably quadrupled what we did last season on Dens Day. So it was really exciting to see just all the donations of current parents, past parents, alumni, just friends in the community. So I'm really, really happy with everyone that supported our program that day.
Were you and your coaches put in any uncomfortable positions challenge-wise by your players?
Yes. So we... we thought we were in the clear.
Did you catch that resignated sigh like, Dan, I really didn't want to talk about this, but...
Yes, today is the day, too. We have to pay it up.
Really?
We did a challenge.
Is it going to be filmed?
Yes. There has to be proof or it didn't happen. So we did a challenge where if we had 50 donors with 25-minute minimum donation, that the coaches would get shot on by a couple players. So we are going to have to, all three of us.
Oh, so what we talked about last week, you're going in goal.
Yep, we're going in goal. And it's funny because in the first kind of sent out list that Alex Marinelli sent out, it didn't happen. I'm like, okay, we're good. And then he sent out a refreshed one like a couple days ago, and I was like, yeah, they hit that challenge. So it's funny. It'll be good.
Let's refresh our fans here about Kirkland, the player.
Yes.
You were not in goal, were you?
I did play goalie. I played goalie in high school for a season, and then just by both chances in my 5th year in college, our goalie got a concussion or something, and then I stepped in for games. And I'm not a fan of the position goalie. It's very hard, so it'll be getting back into it, but just got to put on a brave face and save some balls.
How many shots do you have to face?
5 shots total. Yeah, so 5 different players will shoot on us. One of them being HD, who has like the hardest shot on the team.
And she's looking forward to this,
right?
Yeah,
she's like, oh, I'm going to fake you out, and I'm going to put it low. I'm like, okay.
Cannot wait to see this video coming up.
You can look forward to that.
But it's all for a great cause.
Yeah, it's all fun, and I think it just engages everyone and puts a little bit of the coaches in it too, because usually it's really player forward. So, I'm happy it all worked out because it really does benefit the team.
Now, listen, you've got to at least reasonably acquit yourself because you don't want something going viral. for the wrong reason.
Correct, yes.
And I was actually a part of something this week
Oh, no.
that went viral. Not me. I was broadcasting, doing the Greenville Drive games, and it was a play at the plate for the Hudson Valley catcher, and he didn't scoop a throw from the outfield on the short hop, and the ball landed right on the first baseline. White ball, white line. And he couldn't see it. And it's 2 feet from him, and he's standing there looking around for it, and while he's looking for it, a second run scores.
Oh, no.
At last check, it's been seen 3 million times on Twitter. So I'm just saying,
maybe it'll be like an internal video.
Don't do something that goes viral for the wrong reason. Although I say that, and you could even turn that into something good if it happened.
Right.
But
that's so crazy. Yeah, no viral videos, please.
That's great stuff. Looking forward to that. So, all the laughing and fun aside, it's time to get down to business. It begins on Friday. You'll find out tomorrow,
yes.
and then was it Friday and Sunday?
Friday and Sunday, yep. So our game would either be at 4 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We're thinking will be the 7 o'clock game. And then Sunday it's out at 1. So it's just making it day by day. We're leaving campus on Thursday, so get down early, get a couple practices in, but it's the second half of the season starts.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. 2 wins away from an NCAA tournament appearance.
Yeah.
And considering where you were when you came into this program last year, that would be one heck of an accomplishment.
Yeah, and I remember you said it to me last year when we made the Big South. You're like, you're only 3 wins away, and it never even dawned on me. And this time I'm like, we can get there. It's really part of the goal. So I'm feeling really excited and proud of the team, and just I'm ready to go. But I want to make sure we are super prepared and focused and can just perform our best.
That's what we do in the media. We remind you of the obvious and turn up the heat.
It's a little warm.
There you go. Good stuff. I am really excited for you and looking forward to this weekend.
Thank you.
That is this week's edition of In the Crease with Kirkland Lewis. Again, we're recording this and dropping on Monday. They will find out which seed they get, most likely 2 or 3 on Tuesday, tomorrow when the RPI comes out, and then we'll play at either 4 or 7 p.m. in the Big South semifinals on Friday in Macon, and then the championship game 1 o'clock on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it all right.
Got it.
We'll be back with you again next week with another edition of In the Crease for Kirkland Lewis. I'm Dan Scott, as always, saying God bless you. So long, everybody.